Fender Made in Japan began in 1982, and since then, it has been renowned worldwide and has developed very unique characteristics into its Fender line and product portfolio. With dedicated discipline among its native culture, known as Japanese craftsmanship, has resulted in high quality, and we continue to carry on those roots and legacy with Fender authenticity and the never-ending pursuit of sound, looks, specifications, and what you expect on authentic Fender products. So the pickups for the Heritage Series very much represent the essence of Fender and the essence of vintage Fender. They certainly follow the path, and they certainly follow the DNA, and they certainly fall within the era, and this is why I chose these. I referenced older Fender pickups, but these I have in my archive. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been around a lot of vintage guitars, and these just fell within that. So it was appropriate to use them or those specifications within the Made in Japan Heritage Series. Material-wise, we went back to using as close to vintage materials as possible. We used what is still referred to as form bar. Form bar is a material that they used back in that particular area, and it's a shortened term for formaldehyde varnish, and it very much sonically produces what we were looking for. Then there's the enamel. These were just insulations on a copper magnet wire, and they varied over time. So we use them all now. On the vintage colors, now back in the day when I started painting, we didn't have those codes. Those codes came a little bit later. So we always did it by eye in the early custom shop. We would go buy something similar and then we would mix it up. But now we do have the codes. But I selected them by eye and by familiarity because I've seen them for so long. And then we had them matched appropriately along with the code, and they are being matched here in Japan. We also decided to use a lacquer top coat, which provides a richness that people expect when they're buying a vintage type instrument, if you will. And recreating things in custom shop and recreating things for the US made guitars, we referenced actual vintage guitars and we made the drawings from those original vintage instruments. And we still have the instruments in the Fender archive. So when it came time, when I was asked to consult and supervise in certain areas of the Heritage Series guitars, we referenced those original drawings that in turn referenced those original guitars. And then they were then provided to the team here in Japan. And so whatever is being used on vintage instruments made throughout Fenderdom, be it made in the US or be it made in Japan, the information is the same. The Made in Japan Heritage Series will surely meet your expectations and deliver the playability, the tone, and the authentic Fender vibe to a player seriously looking at their next musical step and allowing them to express and feel their own musical voice.